Here's a shocking truth about digital course creation. 79% of course creators never, ever finish their course because they get stuck in the planning phase. But what if AI could map out your entire course, create your content online, and design your student transformation pathway in less time than it takes to watch a Netflix episode? Well, today I'm sharing a blueprint that helps busy parents, my busy entrepreneurs out there, create digital products at record speed.
Welcome to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur, where being a busy parent isn't your limitation. It is your superpower. Superpower. I'm Tracy Brittman, and this is not your typical hustle harder podcast. No. This is for busy parent entrepreneurs who refuse to choose between bedtime stories and business dreams. Every single episode delivers actionable strategies for turning your limited time into unlimited potential. From digital marketing and side hustles to online courses and passive income, we're here to help you build an empire between soccer practice and science projects. Because we Dark Horses, we do not wait for the perfect time, we create it.
What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. I am your humble host, Tracy Brinkman, and I'm diving into part 2 of the AI Side Hustle Blueprint series. Let's catch up. In our last episode, we cracked the code on finding your perfect profitable niche using AI. We talked about turning your daily parent challenges into market opportunities using AI to validate your ideas in record time. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, go ahead and press pause now and go back to episode 501. The link will be down in the show notes, because today's strategies build on that foundation. There, like I said, there'll be a link down in the show notes wherever you're listening or watching this right now so that you can get caught up. But here's where things start to get exciting, my friends. You've got your niche. You listened to the episode, you went to AI and you typed in all the prompts, you dug around, you found everything. And you also know that there's a hungry market out there. Now you're probably asking yourself, magic headphones are kicking in, Tracy, how do I create this damn thing? How do I turn all this knowledge that I have into a course that people will actually pay for? Well, what if I told you that those same AI tools that helped us find our niche is now going to help us build your entire course framework? I'm talking about from blank page to completed course outline in less time than it takes your kids to clean their room. Well, at least is less time than it took my kids to clean their room. That means in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to use AI to design a course framework that works, create high value content that transforms, and package your expertise in a way that busy parents, busy entrepreneurs can actually consume it. Will actually consume it, which is even more important. And the best part, you can all do this in those small chunks of time between cheer practice and dinner prep. And if your kids aren't going to cheer practice, maybe it's soccer practice or football practice or dance recital, whatever it is, there will be no more waiting for that mythical perfect time to create your course. And here's what's something I want you to realize. This is not theory. I'm going to be sharing the exact prompts and processes that are already out there helping entrepreneurs, parent entrepreneurs, and other entrepreneurs in the community create digital products that sell while they sleep. So grab your favorite beverage, grab your notebook, because the next 2 steps of our AI Side Hustle Blueprint are game changers. Are you ready to dive in? Okay, so we're going to start with step 3, because steps 1 and 2 you already know about because you went back and listened to episode 501, right? He says, nodding his head. Okay, step 3. Designing your digital product framework. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can hear you in my magic headphones again. Tracy, I got all this knowledge in my head. How do I organize it into something that makes sense, that's useful, that I can sell, that people will consume, that will actually get them that transformation? Well, this, my friend, is where AI becomes your personal instructional designer. Let me share a quick story. Not too long ago, one of our Dark Horse community members, a mom who created an amazing system for managing remote work with toddlers, was struggling to turn her knowledge into a course. She had the expertise, but she felt overwhelmed by trying to create the structure. Using the process I'm about to share with you, she mapped out her entire course in 45 minutes during her kids' swim lesson. Yeah, just sitting up there. Be careful, don't splash things on your computer. Anyway, so here's the prompt that we use. And yes, I want you to write this down. You're going to open up your favorite AI tool and you're going to type, I want to create a course about your topic, right? And again, if you're using the same chat session, this is really easy because it will have all the previous context. My target audience is your ideal student. Please create a course outline with 5 to 7 modules, clear learning outcomes for each module, in a logical progression from beginner to implementation. And remember to consider that my students are, and type who they are, and what their limitations are. So for me, it would be, please remember to consider that my students are busy parents with limited time. Okay. And then press enter.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. And I say that all the time because to me, that's what happens. It gets interesting. Don't take AI's first response. Instead, use some follow-up prompts. Dig in a little deeper. I mentioned this briefly in the previous episode. I'm going to give you a specific prompt for this one. All right. In that AI tool that you already have open, right? Okay. Here's what you're going to type. For each module that you suggested, please identify a key transformation for the student, potential roadblocks they might be facing, quick win opportunities to maintain their momentum, and how this can be implemented in 15 to 20 minute time chunks. Now, your student may have 30 to 45 minute time chunks. Whatever it is, use what is applicable to your audience. In any of these prompts that I give you, you may say something like, well, my students aren't dealing with parent issues. They're dealing with elderly issues or realtor issues or whatever issues. You're going to replace my parent ones with your students' issues. Okay. So this is what I call the parent-friendly framework development, because let's be honest, if your course requires a 2-hour study block multiple times in 5 to 7 modules, it's not going to work for busy folks out there. And I'm going to assume most of the folks that you're going to be reaching out to are going to be busy in one form or another. And if they're not, good for you. Leave the 2 hours in there. Maybe it'll work for them. I don't know. For my folks, it doesn't. That's why I put that in there for you. Now, as we move on, I want to talk about core content pillars. Let me give you a powerful prompt that will give you those core content pillars. All right. So in that same AI tool session that you've been using, I want you to type this prompt. Based on this outline, please identify essential skills and knowledge needed for each module, real-world application opportunities, parent-specific challenges and solutions, and again, you're going to replace parent with whoever your audience is, implementation shortcuts for busy schedules, okay? We're going to assume everyone has a busy schedule. If not, you could just do implementation shortcuts for and insert your core audience there for teens in college, for realtors running a business, for moms running a cooking store. I don't know, whatever it is for you, and press enter. More magic will ensue. But here's where most people are going to mess this up. They're going to stop at the outline. But not you. You're a dark horse, right? We're going to take it one step further with what I call the transformation roadmap, because you're not selling a course. You shouldn't be selling a course. You're selling a transformation. So you need a prompt to help you with that if you don't already have it. And if you do have it, let's make sure it's validated. Yes, use this prompt. Open up that AI session again and type this prompt. For this course structure, please create a clear before and after state for my students, milestone markers for each module, progress indicators students can easily track, and quick celebration points so that we can maintain motivation. Yeah, that's so many people leave that out. And that's why they see such a low completion rate of the courses they do sell or no sales at all. Okay. Now here's a validation piece that many course creators miss altogether. We're going to test this structure before we even start creating any content. That's how I want to save you some time. And here's the validation prompt that you're going to use to help do this validation piece that everyone else is missing. All right. In that same AI session, here's what you're going to type. Analyze this course structure for potential gaps in knowledge progression, areas where students might get stuck, opportunities for quick wins, and time management red flags for, and then you put in your core audience. And for me, it would be time management red flags for busy parents, and press enter. Okay. And let me give you a real example of how this works. Remember that mom from a previous episode had that meal prep system? When we ran her meal prep system through the AI framework, we discovered her original structure that she created had this major gap. At one point, she was jumping from basic prep to advanced batch cooking without any essential transition step to get from point A to point G. The AI analysis helped us identify and fix that gap before she ever started creating any of the content. How frustrating would it be if you said, oh my God, this is amazing, and you created your content, and then your students are going, I can't get past this right here. Or maybe one or two of them do because they're experienced with cooking. So let's avoid that before we even start creating the content. And here's another game-changing tip. Use this prompt to optimize your structure for your time-starved students. And again, I'm going to make the assumption that they are time-starved in the case of my parents who are.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Open up that same AI session, type, how can this course be modified to be consumed in 15-minute segments, provide immediate applicable value, stack learning effectively, and allow for interrupted learning. There's one you probably haven't heard before, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you turn your expertise into a structured digital product that actually will serve your audience, not just your pocketbook. No more wondering if your course makes sense. No more wondering if there's a flow of things that your students can follow. No more hoping that your students can follow along. You're actually creating a framework that's validated and optimized before you have written a single piece of content. And speaking of content creation, now that you've got that framework locked in, let's talk about creating your course content. What's that? Yep, there go the magic headphones again, and I can hear you saying, but Tracy, I don't have time to write hours and hours of content. Well, that's exactly why we're going to get AI to do some of the heavy lifting. Most of the heavy lifting, actually. Let me share something with you that actually blew my mind. One of our Dark Horse parents created an entire module's worth of content during her kids' 1 hour soccer practice. How, you might ask? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you. She did it using the content multiplication method. And here's the first game-changing prompt inside that method called the content catalyst. Ready? Open up that session again, and you're going to type the following prompt. For specific module topic, please create a detailed lesson outline, key teaching points, real-world examples, and action steps for implementation. Please be sure to format this for your core audience. For me, it would be busy parents who need quick, actionable wins. Okay? And press enter. And here again is where it's going to get even more interesting. You're going to take that output and you're going to use this follow-up prompt to really make it magic. Open up that session, or you should already have it open, and type the following prompt. Transform this content into a video script with clear talking points, a PDF quick reference guide, an implementation checklist, and a 15-minute action plan. Yeah. Now, press enter. There you go. Okay. And if you're just listening to this, it might seem kind of janky, but here's the magic. When you sit down in front of the AI tool that you choose, whether it's Gemini or Poppy AI or ChatGPT or whatever it is you choose to use, and go through this episode and type those prompts in, you're going to get pumped because everything's going to start to unfold for you. Okay. Now let's talk about making your content actually stick. Because let's be honest, we've bought courses that we've never finished, right? Yeah, I can feel many of you and hear many of you actually verbalizing, yeah, too many. Okay, my hand's up too. Here's an engagement prompt that's going to change everything for you. For each lesson point, open up your session and type this prompt. For each lesson point, please add a relevant parent life scenario is what I would type. You're going to type in realtor scenario or teen life scenario or whoever your core audience is scenario. Include a quick win opportunity. Create an aha moment example and design a 5-minute implementation task and press enter. Now, I don't want you to always use all the stories that AI is going to give you, but it's going to help you tap into all the experience and stories that you have. You can say, oh, that's very much like the story I have with this situation and that situation. Of course, you want to put your real life stories in there, but AI will often give you stories that are out there in the ecosphere and the internet sphere that you may not have thought of, and you can use those. Okay. But listen closely here, because this is where most creators, I think, are going to miss the mark, maybe yourself, and I want you to avoid this. They create content that's technically correct, but emotionally flat. They're out there creating a piece of content that is robotic in its presentation. No, all right? And here's how you're going to fix that. And I'm going to call this the story integration prompt. You ready? Same session. Go in there and type this prompt. Please generate 3 relatable parent scenarios for this lesson. Again, you're going to change parent to whoever your core audience is. Common frustration points and solutions, success story frameworks, and I've been there teaching moments. Yeah, that's where you're going to start getting some of these really cool stories that you can either read from or use those frameworks and those frustration points and solutions to share stories that you already have with your I've been there teaching moments. And then you can get the I've been there teaching moments from the AI to refresh your memory. Go, oh, I totally forgot about that, right?
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Because you have so much experience, you quite probably have forgotten about it. I've been in this game over 40 years. You think I remember every single story at a moment's notice? No, I'm just going to be honest. Maybe you do. Lucky you. But anyway, let me show you how to 10x your content value with this next prompt. We're going to call this the resource amplifier prompt. You ready? Okay. Open up that session again and type the following prompt. Create supporting materials, including templates for immediate use, swipe files for quick implementation, decision-making flow charts, and parent-friendly cheat sheets. And again, you'll change parent to whoever your core audience is and press enter. Okay? And you're going to start getting resources. And you've seen those pages that you've been on for the courses you've bought. Here's the resources we include. You're like, oh my God, these are amazing resources. Whether you ever used them or not, they were a buying decision for you. So you need to have some of those. But here's the $1 million question, ladies and gentlemen. How do you know if your content is actually good? Yeah, right. Oh, okay. Well, that's a great question. So here's, we're going to run through the quality assurance system using AI. And this is the AI review prompt. Now, mind you, we're just using AI as a tool here. You may read through some of this stuff and go, well, that's trash. And you can ask it for another more value-packed version. But here's something, if you've gotten this far, you can use this prompt. You ready? Open up that AI session and type the following prompt. Analyze this content for clarity and actionability, parent-specific relevance, again, insert your core audience there, implementation barriers, and value to time ratio. And it may give you some suggestions of how to make it even better. And you can go back to the previous prompts and throw those suggestions in and say, hey, be sure to include X. Got it? Okay. Now, let me give you a real example one more time. Last month, a dad in our community was creating a course about home office productivity. There's a million of them out there, right? You've probably had 2 or 3 of them under your belt. When we ran his content through the QA process, the AI flagged that his solutions assumed people had dedicated office space. Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't think about that. This is home office productivity. I remember a time in my home office where it was a table in the corner of the dining room. So there was a quick pivot we threw in there, and we added alternatives for parents working from kitchen tables and bedroom corners and TV tray tables in the dining room or in the living room. That small insight quite probably doubled his potential market reach. You feel me? And talk about a selling point on top of that, okay? Let me give you one final ninja trick here, ninja AI, okay? We're gonna call this the implementation insurance prompt. You're gonna go back to your session one more time, and you're gonna type the following prompt. For each teaching point, verify, can this be implemented in under 15 minutes or whatever time block you dedicate to? This will be another selling point for you. Will this work during interrupted time blocks? Is it realistic for a busy, insert your target here, and does it provide immediate value? And press enter. And I want you to remember, this isn't about just creating content. You're trying to create transformation. And transformation happens inside the implementation, not in reading the information, right? You got to get them to implement. Okay. Now, that brings us back to my favorite time again. Once again, it's time for our Whiskered Wisdom for today. And here's the thing about creating digital products I want you to remember. Most people get stuck trying to create the perfect course, he says once again with air quotes. They spend months polishing slides. They spend months recording and re-recording videos. They spend months tweaking their content until they get it just right. Well, here's the whiskered truth. Your students don't need perfect. They need proven. That simple solution that you've created to manage your chaos, that morning routine that you've developed to get 3 kids out to school on time with food and dressed. Oh, yeah. Okay. That system that you've built to run your remote job while doing diaper changes, that's exactly what they're paying for. Not the perfect screenshots, not the perfect video. No. While other course creators are trying to build theoretical frameworks, you are sitting there right now on battle-tested solutions that actually work in the trenches of real life. Your imperfect but effective systems are worth more than someone else's polished, untested theories. Here's what I want you to remember. Dark horses don't just create courses. We package solutions. And the best solutions are not born in those boardrooms out there. No, they are forged in the beautiful chaos of our daily lives. Go ahead and let that sink in for a moment. Okay, while you're letting that sink in, let's go ahead and quickly recap what we've covered today. In step 3, we discovered how to use AI to design your course framework, turning your expertise into a structured digital product that busy parents can and will actually consume. Remember those powerful prompts for creating the module outline and transformation roadmap? That's your foundation. And then step 4, we dove into content creation, showing you how to use AI to develop high-value materials without spending all those hours staring at a blank screen. These content multiplication prompts, they are your secret weapons for creating course materials during those small pockets of time inside your parent life chaos. Yeah, okay, inside your busy life. I know it's there. Let me give it to you short and straight. Now, here's where things are going to get even more exciting. In the next episode, in the final episode of this 3-part series, episode 503, we're tackling the final 2 steps of the AI Side Hustle Blueprint, marketing your digital product and building your audience. I'm going to show you how to use AI to create scroll-stopping social media content, write high-converting sales copy, and build a loyal following, all while you're still juggling your family responsibilities. But listen closely. If you're serious about turning your expertise into a profitable digital product, you need to be a part of the Dark Horse Insider community. So go on, head on over to darkhorseinsider.com right now and join our free newsletter. This week, I'm going to be sharing some private vault AI prompts for my course creators that are out there, including some templates we use with our coaching clients to create and launch successful digital products for themselves. So until next time, this is your humble host, Tracy Brinkman, reminding you to think successfully and take action.
Hey, my Dark Horse entrepreneurs, thanks for investing your precious time with us today. I know that between soccer practice and bedtime stories, every single minute counts. And that's exactly why I created the Dark Horse Insider, your weekly dose of digital marketing strategies, all designed specifically for my busy entrepreneurs, especially my busy parent entrepreneurs. If you're ready to turn those small pockets of time into profitable momentum, head on over to darkhorseinsider.com. darkhorseinsider.com. and join our free newsletter, because we Dark Horses do not just run the race, we change how the race is won. Until next time, think successfully and take action. darkhorseinsider.com.